Oh, you just press record. I don't really enjoy
that.
stuff like, like people talk about Narcos. I'm just like, okay. And I didn't really enjoy Breaking Bad. I thought at one point it just got really boring because I didn't care.
Breaking Bad's not based on a true story.
I know, but regardless, like those types of stories, I'm just like, they don't excite me. Like people are watching Breaking Bad, it's like, oh, it's so like, exciting watching it because he's like breaking the law and making drugs and doing all this crazy shit. I'm just like, this is really boring. There's too much technicalities. There's too many things that have to be explained. Anything that gets too detailed and that doesn't like move along at a certain pace, I'm just like, oh. So
Breaking Bad's very fast paced.
Is it?
In the first episode, he sets up.
Well, like that's the thing. I watched the first few seasons and they were okay, but then towards the end, it just got. Not that I don't know if it was just the fact that I couldn't be bothered keeping up with everything, or I was just like
there's a lot in the show.
Yeah.
There's a lot that happens.
Yeah.
And
I don't know. Either way, I just completely lost interest. Maybe if I go back and watch it now.
The last 4th and 5th season, 5th in both of its parts, are so good. Like, they're worth it.
I didn't even...
The ending, especially the ending of the last season is just...
It's very good, apparently.
Good. It's very good.
I don't know. I just was like, I can't be bothered. I just can't be bothered. Like, everyone really liked it.
Then how did you stay watching Game of Thrones for 5 seasons?
I liked Game of Thrones.
But it's also pretty detailed and
I know, but I think I like the characters more in Game of Thrones. In my head, the characters were way more likable. Like, I mean, Joffrey was a dick, but like...
He dies.
Yeah, he dies, so it's fine. Like, I feel like in Game of Thrones, people get their justice. Or... injustice, if you're talking about other people who die on film.
People die a lot.
Yeah, but...
Well, not anymore, but...
But I think, like, people... There's enough people there for me. Like, I really like Daenerys. I watched a lot of it because I enjoyed Daenerys. And I liked Sansa's role. I mean, a lot of people didn't like Sansa, but I really liked her.
I hate her to begin with, but that's because she's an annoying little shit.
Well, she wasn't really that good in... the first 2 seasons, I'd say.
Well, it's like the first 2 seasons she's just getting manipulated.
By Joffrey,
Even in the 3rd season.
Yeah.
To some extent. I mean, she's basically being manipulated most of the time until you get to, 5th and 6th season. And then things start changing.
Yeah. No, but I ended up liking her. I don't know, at the end of the day, there were just things about Game of Thrones that I enjoyed. Like, I was actually surprised, whereas in Breaking Bad, I thought there was like the first few episodes I was like, oh my god, that one, the scene with the bathtub and the dead body and stuff, that part I was like, oh my god. But then at one point I was just like, yeah. And I think everyone told me he was going to die.
Well, you know he's going to die to begin with, because that's the whole point of the show.
Yeah, but I'm just kind of like, okay. I was just a bit like, I know what's going to happen. I know he's not going to die here and this is going to happen.
Because it's the reason why I find it interesting is because it's about a genuinely good person who gets turned into an evil person. Yeah. There's a lot to do with his past that does that as well, like that motivates him to do that.
Yeah.
Because he's like an intelligent person who's underachieving, and the only way
he's a high school teacher.
Yeah, he's a high school teacher. Doesn't get paid shit. He was a part of like a scientific startup company.
Yeah.
That he was pretty much like the brains behind, and then he left it because of disagreements and most likely an affair with his friend's wife, by the sounds of it, which isn't ever confirmed, but they were very close, and there's like a flashback scene where they're kind of intimate.
Yeah.
That's about it, and then, and like even like the reason why I say like watching to the end makes it worth it is that it all sort of comes full circle, because it's like him like finally admitting the fact that he didn't really do it for his family.
Yeah.
That was a part of it, but it was like he basically just admits to his wife in like the last episode. He goes, I did it for me. I was good at it. I liked it. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, fair enough.
And it's really good, the way that it ends.
Probably does get good. I just didn't give it enough of a chance.
I know, like, it's got... I can't remember, it's the 3rd last episode or 2nd last episode. Is one of the best episodes of a TV show I've ever seen. It's... I mean, I don't want to tell you anything, but it's so incredibly dramatic in a good way. But yeah. I will say, if I'm going to say anything about Game of Thrones at the moment, lots of people have obviously, and I think fairly, criticised season 7, most recent one.
Well,
Not that you've seen it.
not that I know, but I've seen enough memes and all that stuff. I know, like, you know, you told me about it like last time.
I know your actual watching. You got about to season 5.
Yeah.
like just to the end of it.
Yeah.
Did you see Jon Snow get stabbed?
No.
No.
But I knew about Jon Snow getting stabbed.
I know you got to around there because the things you've told me about are like season 5.
Yeah, well, like I got to the part when Sansa goes to the castle and she gets like married off and
To Ramsay.
yeah.
Did you see it when Jon Snow ended up in Hardhome, which is the wildlings' home past the wall? Because he's there to try and basically convince them to come back.
I think you did tell
To
you
help.
told me about that because at one point I just got so sick and tired of avoiding spoilers that I was like, everyone, just tell me what happens and then I can just like watch the rest of the season.
That's because I'm pretty sure that's where Jon first sees the Night King, which is, you know, the
Yeah.
head of the White Walkers, because the White Walkers just attack the wildling village while they're there, and he like evacuates as many people as possible.
Oh, I remember. And then you're like, that's the way Hodor and all that stuff happened.
No, that's
No.
the following season. That's with Bran.
Oh yeah.
Hodor's with Bran.
Oh yeah. Oh.
No, because the thing is like I'm starting it again, Game of Thrones from the beginning.
God.
And I think a lot of the problems with season 7, all the ones that people have, are just with the pacing of it. Mm. It's so much quicker than everything else, and it's because one, you've got 7 episodes instead of 10.
Yeah.
And they also only have this season and one other season to go.
Yeah.
And that final season is 6 episodes, even shorter.
Oh god.
And then, so that previous episodes used to have a consistent theme around each episode, maybe, or like things that would link each thing together in a way, just something. Whereas season 6 to some degree, but season 7 more, just feels like they're going from place to place to tie up loose ends and to push things forward. So it's not as satisfying as it used to be. And there's also things where they push the time frame a bit too much.
Yeah.
Where you're going, this would not be possible in the time frame, but whatever.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
So I mean, you know that one of Daenerys' dragons gets killed because
Yeah,
I pretty much spoiled that for you.
Yeah, I know.
But that episode was the second last of season 7, and it's because Jon and the Hound and 2 guys from the Brotherhood without banners. I can't remember their names.
I never remember any of the characters unless they're like a main character. I never remember the name. So someone could be like, you know, blah blah, and I'm like, no, who the fuck is that?
So Jorah, who is, you know, Daenerys' friend-zoned friend, and who else? Tormund, the red-headed wildling.
Nope, no idea.
You don't know him? You saw season 4.
I probably did. I just don't remember who the fuck he is.
Yeah, so he's beyond the wall with him as well. He's the one I told you is there's the thing with Brienne.
Yeah.
Well, he thinks anyway. And so they go beyond the wall, and their objective is to get a White Walker or a White, one of the undead, and bring it back to King's Landing to show Cersei to convince her to join with them against the White Walkers instead of fighting each other.
Yeah.
And that's basically the premise of the episode. But what happens in the episode is in the same episode, the previous episode, they leave the wall.
Yeah.
And the next episode starts there.
Yeah.
It does go back to Winterfell a couple of times to see what Arya and Sansa are doing. And then they go in, they fight some White Walkers, they find one, they bag him up, and then the army of dead comes. Gendry, which is Robert Baratheon's only bastard, runs back to the wall. And he runs there basically in less than a day.
Which is full blown running the whole time.
Yeah, he's full blown like sprinting the whole time, and he gets exhausted and like passes out just outside the wall. Oh. And then the other group, who's, you know, beyond the wall with Jon and everything, get onto a frozen lake. Yeah. And the White Walkers sort of fall into the frozen lake a bit, and then they just have to wait for it to refreeze. Yeah. So they're there for like about 1 or 2 days. You're not quite sure, but in that time they've managed to send a raven all the way to Daenerys at Dragonstone, which is way far away.
I also don't know any of the locations relative to each other. Like, so, you know, I know where Winterfell is up north.
nearer to the wall than
Yeah.
most of the others. So they send it south, and it's...
I don't know
I'm
where
not
Daenerys...
exactly
I didn't even know Daenerys was on the other side, like on a completely different place at the beginning. Like I was like...
Well, she's not anymore at this
Yeah,
point.
I know. Now
she's in
she's
Westeros.
Yeah, she's in Westeros now.
But...
Ren, I have to stop. We have to stop.
Well, I'm just saying that they're messing with... They're not... There's a few bad writing decisions.
No.
It doesn't ruin the show for me at all.
Well, the thing is, like, George R. Martin, they're not following the books anymore.
They can't.
They're doing,
There's no books at the moment.
left. So that probably might be why they're a bit...
Oh, that's definitely one of the reasons.
They're like
Also,
kind of running around like a headless
I
chook.
think they got paranoid that they'd stretch out the show too long as well. Like, it'd just stop being interesting if they kept going too long. So I think they're overcompensating the other way a little bit. But I think the general thing is like they killed Littlefinger this season as well.
I know. Can I... Wait. No, actually, no, I'm not going to say this.
So, last episode they killed him.
Yeah.
And they did this because it's like the whole thing of the show is like he kind of started the whole problem in the first place, because it's like he sent the guy to kill Bran at the very beginning of the show when Bran was like on the bed after he'd been thrown out of the tower by Jaime.
Yeah.
He was the one who sent the guy that Catelyn had to fight.
Yeah.
That the dog killed with the knife, because it was his knife.
Yeah.
He turned Catelyn's sister against her own husband, who she poisoned, and sort of started the whole thing. The whole reason that Ned had to go to King's Landing in the first place is Baelish.
Yeah.
So it's like he turns people against each other and all that sort of stuff. In season 7, he's trying to turn Arya and Sansa against each other.
Okay.
So he's basically trying to talk to Sansa. He plants the letter that Sansa sent to Robb to surrender to Cersei, even though Cersei told her what to write, pretty much, in like season 2.
Yeah.
Baelish hides it, and Arya finds it, and then it's like, oh, she's in with the Lannisters or something like that. And Baelish is talking to Sansa like, oh, she wants to be the Lady of Winterfell, not you, and all that sort of stuff. And then, like, to me, for one thing, I think it's a failing in, like, understanding the characters. I don't think Arya would believe that Sansa was with the Lannisters, really.
No.
Like, they didn't get along, but I don't think she believes that she's
not that... I think she's not that naive anymore.
Yeah, and she's not naive either. She's not...
She's seen shit.
I can understand Sansa to a degree, because Arya's a bit weird coming back. Like, she's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
She's kind of a killer, and she does all this stuff, and then... But yeah, then... And it's sort of like, you never really find out how they worked it out. Like, you assume it's Bran telling them everything that Baelish has done.
Yeah.
And then they just sort of turn the whole thing on him.
Yeah.
But it seemed like unnecessarily...
Complicated,
and it took too long to get there.
Yeah.
The payoff was good.
Yeah.
His death scene was really good.
Yeah.
The way they did it. Because it's like, he basically goes into like a trial, and they just convict him. And he basically begs for his life and starts crying. And then Arya slits his throat mid-sentence. Yeah. And it was good.
Yeah.
I liked that. But yeah, it's got some problems, but...
This podcast is not supposed to be about Game of Thrones.
It's supposed to be at Logan Lucky, but
yeah.
Game of Thrones is good.
Really? I want to... When you talk about it, it makes me want to watch it, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm going to have to like sit... You know what? Maybe I'll start watching it tonight.
You should.
Tomorrow.
Or the next day.
Or the next day. I don't know. When I get the chance.
Just as long as you're up to date by 2019 when season 8 comes out.
I know. It's not going to be out for another 2 years.
Yeah, they start production next month.
How is 7 seasons going to... 6 seasons next season, you said?
What do you mean?
For Game of Thrones.
8.
8 seasons.
It's the 8th season.
I mean, 6 episodes next season.
Yeah, I'm assuming they're all going to be like 90 minutes.
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming that.
Well, then why
they
not
haven't
just break
said
them
that.
up into...
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like, why not just make 8?
I guess it's like when you stop an episode, it kind of breaks up the flow.
Yeah.
So
but
it's to keep
I
the
also
thing
have
going.
this strange feeling that like the finale is going to be like 2 hours long. I don't know that, and I have a doubt it. But at the same time, it is
That's not
Game
an
of Thrones.
episode. That's a movie.
That's a movie. Yeah, exactly. But they could.
I mean, I'd watch it.
I'd watch it too. Yeah. Well, I'm definitely going to watch it either way.
It's like I watch it.
But yeah, they start production in October, and the only thing I've read about it so far from like the HBO people who are like behind it, not the two showrunners, but just HBO.
Yeah.
They're basically saying like, because they don't really know, they haven't really set like an end date for the production to end, so they're assuming 2019 at the moment, which is probably will be, but because I think
Game of Thrones Christmas special.
I think it's going to take like 12 months, like a full 12 months to finish production, and then they've got to edit it and like do the CG and everything, and that takes ages. So yeah, it'll probably be like what the usual airing time every year was, but in 2019.
Yeah.
Because this year it was later
Yeah.
than normal because they had to shoot in colder weather because it's supposed to be winter now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Good times.
But anyway.
Okay, Logan Lucky.
We've talked about Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So yeah, we went to see Logan Lucky last week.
I don't feel like talking about Logan Lucky anymore after Game of Thrones. I'm going to watch Game of Thrones now.
Well, you know, I don't know how many films Steven Soderbergh's made, but this is his latest one. He said, I think, several times that he wasn't going to make any more films. He was just going to go to TV.
Okay.
And then he made Behind the Candelabra with...
So my ears are itchy.
That was hugely successful. And I think it was supposed to be a TV movie, and then it got released in cinemas because it was apparently good enough. I haven't seen it. It's supposed to be good. Can't for the life of me remember who it's about. Like, the name is...
That's good.
On the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember. Anyway, there was that.
Yeah.
And he's responsible for the first Magic Mike, as well as the Oceans movies.
I didn't know he was responsible for Magic Mike.
I don't think he did the second one.
I don't know.
I haven't seen either of them.
Do you know what? Can I be honest with you? The only scenes I've seen from Magic Mike are literally the dancing stripper scenes. Like, not intentionally, just like, you know, every time when the movie first came out, everyone was just talking about, like, oh my god, look how hot he is in this scene or whatever. So the only scenes I've really seen
I haven't
are
seen
those.
them, but I'm more interested in seeing them now because of the reviews that it got.
Yeah.
Because they're just like, it's not what you think.
It's not just like a porno kind of.
Well, it's not. The stripping's not really the point of the film.
Yeah, it talks about, like, it's based on Channing Tatum's, like, own story.
Yeah, I think it's his own experience with it because that's what he
used to do.
And because it's not as glamorous as it looks.
Nah. It's like some Ocean's 11,
yes.
50 Shades kind of mixture.
But yeah, I've heard they're much better than people give them credit for.
Yeah,
I would expect that from Soderbergh anyway.
Yeah. Well, Logan Lucky was a lot better than what I expected. I didn't really want to see it, but
it's funny because
I was like, if I don't see this,
because Soderbergh came to prominence with like his indie movies and stuff like Sex, Lies and Videotape with James Spader and various other people. But it was his film style is very stripped down. Like, it's almost style without style because it doesn't have doesn't use like a lot of shots or anything like that. And you can tell, like, in the start of this film, it's like the opening scene is Channing Tatum talking to his daughter.
Yeah.
And it's only done in like 3 shots, and everything's really just like slowly comes in.
Yeah.
Over the other side. But you get the gist. You get what's happening. You don't really need any more than that.
No.
There's not a lot of like really close-up shots either. They just the actors just sort of keep going.
Yeah, it's very just like slice of life kind of. This is it. Yeah. There's not a lot of dependence on the editing, I guess.
And I'll say the trailer's kind of misleading almost. Because it
is.
It seems a lot dumber, the humour.
Well, that's the reason why I didn't want to see it, because I thought it was going to be another really kind of...
Like, dumb movie.
Yeah, dumb movie. Some guys just do some stupid guy things. Like, it kind of reminded me of, like... Maybe not this film exactly. Like, you know, like, Dude, Where's My Car? Like, that kind of film. Or, like, The Hangover, when they just wake up and, this stuff is happening and they go on this... That's what it reminded me of. You know, watching the trailer, I thought it had something to do about NASCARs.
It does.
Yeah, well, it does.
That's what they rob.
Yeah, but, like, I didn't know it was about them planning this huge heist or anything.
Yeah.
I just thought, wait, is he going to be a NASCAR driver?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I thought it was. And then so I was like, it's going to be so stupid. Like, I'm not going to enjoy it. Who the fuck is going to enjoy some stupid guy moping around on screen?
Yeah.
I mean, I know Channing Tatum, but still. Like, but no, it was really good. I actually, like, I did feel like the end... I thought it was going to end, and then it didn't end.
Yeah,
and then part of me was like,
bit.
can you end this now? I've enjoyed this.
But then at least
Don't
it
push
kind
me.
of explained a few things. Because otherwise it would have been a bit, huh?
Yeah, it's
What?
true. It did, like, obviously I think it was intentionally done so that they kind of was like, oh, this is ending. Oh, wait, never mind. It's not. Here's another section.
I mean, it doesn't go on for, like, too long.
No.
But,
no.
yeah.
You know, nothing beats Transformers long. That was long.
That was long.
Oh, God, so long. Anyway.
But, yeah, it's a pretty simple plot.
Yeah.
It's just, you know...
It's Ocean's 11 with stupid
Kind of,
people.
yeah. That's basically,
And James
like,
Bond.
it's the redneck version of Ocean's 11.
Yeah. Like,
as they call it
literally.
in the film themselves, Ocean's
In
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I'd say I prefer Ocean's 11.
I think Ocean's 11 is a bit more like...
It's more fun, obviously.
It's more
like,
refined. It's all about these gentlemen who have
Yeah.
this huge plan. It's
well,
really
it's
serious.
in Vegas, and it's
Yeah.
and they've all, I mean, it's obviously it's a remake, but it's you know,
But it's a bit more
it's better
style.
than the original though. The original one, which
I
had
don't even
the
know
Rat
about the
Pack, which
original.
was
Oh.
Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin, and basically all the big names back then
Oh,
in the
yeah.
'60s. But yeah, obviously, they just updated it, and it was
The sun's
much
getting
better.
in my eyes.
It was much better the second time around.
My eyes are squinting. 'Cause he's like sitting in front of a window and it's very bright at it's like, I don't know why it's so bright. It was raining earlier, but the clouds are really bright. And so I've been like sitting around like squinting. I'm like, oh, it's so bright. So I
Yeah.
put on my sunglasses.
But yeah, it's just basically about, you know, a guy who's
Down on his
been
luck.
divorced. He's got, you know, shared time with his daughter, and
Yeah.
the daughter's, you know, the mother and her husband are moving away
Yeah.
because the husband's got the new business somewhere else.
Mm.
And so he thinks he's only got like limited time with his daughter, and the only way for him to get down there is if he can like buy a place down there.
Yeah.
And so he basically decides that with his brother, who's missing an arm from the Iraq War, played by Adam Driver,
Yeah.
that they're going to rob NASCAR. Well, they're not. The original plan is not to rob NASCAR. It's just to rob
The food.
It's just to rob the race track, basically,
Yeah.
on an off day.
Yeah.
Because he works in basically like construction and stuff.
Yeah. So he knows like how the money system all works and all that.
they've been clearing stuff out of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, the piping for the money transfer chutes are all down the bottom, and he knows where they are.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And so we get the setup, and then you know you get Daniel Craig playing probably his best acting role I've seen.
I really enjoyed him.
Yeah,
in
he was really good in it.
Yeah. He was like,
Because everybody's kind of hamming it a little bit, but not to the point where they don't seem like real characters.
yeah.
So he was kind of silly, but not in a way that was over the
He
top.
wasn't
and really,
exaggerated. He
Yeah.
was just like,
Yeah, you got the impression that the character was just silly. It's not
yeah.
not like he was just having fun with the
Nah,
role.
yeah.
I'm sure he was anyway, but yeah.
He's probably, it was refreshing to see him like that other than like a James Bond character.
Yeah.
I was getting, he just, you know, he's doing another James Bond film though. He had,
Yes.
yeah, so I was just like, stop.
I don't know what they're going to do with that.
He
actually.
didn't, you know, he hates playing James Bond though. He said to people, he's like, oh, I just feel
I
like.
don't. It's funny because I don't know whether this is just for the sake of the next film because
Yeah.
he's being offered a huge amount of money, but
Probably.
I know he was on some show recently and he was basically saying, well, when I was asked that question, it was when I just got off one. And it's like, well, of course I didn't want to do one right then.
Yeah.
So I get that as well, but maybe he's just saying that now because it's like, oh, they offered me a huge amount of money.
Yeah,
I
so it's
better
like
not say anything bad about
Yeah, that's true.
it. But at the same time, I mean,
But
you
you
know,
were saying him, not, was it Skyfall? No, what was the one after Skyfall?
Spectre.
Spectre. He just looks so freaking,
Well, Spectre sucks.
yeah.
Generally, it's really
The
bad.
first two, like, I mean, to be fair, Casino Royale is always going to be my favorite. But
Casino
the one,
Royale's great, and Skyfall's great.
Skyfall's
Quantum of
alright.
Solace is just kind of shit, and
I don't
Spectre is terrible.
I don't really remember Quantum of Soul.
That's actually Quantum of Solace's problem. It's really forgettable.
What happened?
I remember it had this shittest bad guy. which
I
was
actually physically don't remember Quantum
I
of
think
Solace.
it's in Bolivia, and he goes down there with. Oh fuck! I know that the bad guy's plan is that he wants to like control Bolivia's water supply.
Nope, I don't remember.
That's-
I
and then
remember
it-
Skyfall
it-
because that's the one where he gets shot.
With Javier Bardem as,
Yeah.
as the Joker. Pretty much.
Fuck, let me just look this shit up. What the fuck? I honestly don't remember what happened in Quantum Solace.
Now, Quantum of Solace is like, and it starts with him transporting Mr. White from Casino Royale to M, and then he finds out about Quantum, which was, at the time, was their replacement for Spectre, because they weren't allowed to call Spectre because of some copyright issues.
Okay, let me read here. Oh, I know, I remember this. I do. No, was this Quantum of Solace, or was this Skyfall? Fuck's sake.
Heck, no, Skyfall's the one with Javier Bardem and with Moneypenny and all that.
Is this the guy who had that weird face, like fucked up face, like when he took his teeth out?
Yeah, that's Javier Bardem in it. That's Skyfall.
Okay, that's Skyfall. But then what's Quantum of Solace?
Don't even worry about it. Doesn't even matter.
You know what? Fuck. I remember I watched Quantum of Solace in cinemas too.
Yeah, I did too.
Oh god,
it sucked.
Wow, it was that forgettable.
It's really dull. It's not very.
No, because I remember
memorable.
Casino Royale to a T. I remember everything that happened, and I really because before then, I really wasn't into. I'm still really not into James Bond. I assume there are probably some really good films.
I was when I was a kid, and then I kind of like watching them now is difficult because they're mostly their shit.
Yeah, but like I said, so. I remember my friends wanted to see Quantum Solace, so I went and saw Quantum Solace, and I was like, I thought, I don't really know too much about this James Bond, so I'll go back and watch the previous one, which is Casino Royale.
Yeah.
Watched Casino Royale, I really enjoyed Casino Royale, so that's what prompted me to go see Skyfall. Skyfall was pretty good as well, but then by the third film, I was already like, okay, I'm getting kind of bored of this character already.
Well, the film's always the same.
Yeah.
There's always
a bad guy.
There's always a bad guy who's got some plot, which is ridiculous, and then
James Bond shoots his way in.
Bond has the briefing at the start.
Yeah.
And, he's given whatever gadgets he needs by Q.
Yeah.
And he somehow works in those gadgets to the film. At some point he has to get out of something and he uses them because that's how it works. And there's a good Bond girl and a bad Bond girl, and at some point he sleeps with both of them.
Yeah.
And then at the end there's a big confrontation and lots of explosions and stuff, and then it ends.
And he saves the Bond girl.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it usually finishes with him making out with one of them. Then the credits roll.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing I liked about Casino Royale.
Now, that was like a subversion of the Bond, but it's also like the original story. Yeah. And it's very good.
It is very
It's a better introduction to Bond than any other movie.
Yeah, definitely.
It sets him up as a character.
I like how there was a lot of I don't necessarily watch poker. I'm very impatient.
Yeah, it's funny because I was watching that film and I had no idea how to play poker, and I was just like, this is so intense.
I know. And then where he gets poisoned, and it was very it was just very well.
Because you don't really need to know how to play poker to see how that scene's going and to feel how it's going.
Yeah, because the way they shoot it and everything is very good. We are not staying on topic today. I just realised.
Well, it's because there's not actually a whole lot to say about Logan Lucky, I don't think, because it's a very competent movie. I wouldn't say it's like a brilliant, magnificent masterpiece.
It was kind of like the equivalent of talking about Baby Driver and all that. It's it's not necessarily an amazing film. It's not going to blow your mind, but it's you pay for it, you go watch it. It's enjoyable, and you don't. It's not like you come out after watching Transformers, you're like, oh my god, I regret that. That's 3 hours of my life wasted. It's not like that.
It's not like Dunkirk. Where you're like, wow.
Oh yeah.
What a great experience.
Yeah. But there's nothing special about it, but it's not necessarily a bad movie.
It's just good.
Yeah, it's just a very stock standard.
If you wanted Ocean's 11 with just a bit more
boganness.
Redneck South Carolina.
Yeah. Well, the overall it's been so long since I watched Ocean's 11, honestly, so long, and I know there's a lot of very dark, not dark things, but it's very, I don't want to say noir.
No, you know what it is? Soderbergh lights most of his films naturally.
Yeah, well,
he
that's what it is.
doesn't use lots of massive lights or anything. So Ocean's 11 almost it's got a huge cast, and it's this big property as well. But it looks like an indie movie in a way. Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. It looks just the way it's done is a bit different.
Soderbergh's a weirdo like that. He makes big budget films, and then he makes tiny little.
Yeah, but the way everyone, the costume and all the aesthetic of it was just, I like that a bit more. It was a bit more casual, but...
I'm trying to remember the name. because a film I saw, and some people loved it and some people hated it. It got like really mixed reviews that he made. I think it's called Haywire, and it was Gina Carano, who was in Deadpool. So she was the woman who fights the metal guy.
Oh yeah.
Because she's a former MMA fighter.
Oh, she's Angel.
Yeah,
That's her.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
She looks really tough. Like, yeah, she was in this film as like this CIA agent or whatever.
Yeah.
Had a pretty big cast, like Ewan McGregor, Antonio Banderas, Channing Tatum was in it as well. And it was like a spy film, but it was really stripped down. Like Fassbender's in it as well, and it's like they worked really well with her. I think she's got she's got a presence. I know she's probably not a great actor, but they worked around her abilities really well.
Yeah.
Like, she can actually do wrestling and punching and all sorts because she's a fighter. And there's a whole, like, extended sequence, like, where she's basically having a fist fight with Michael Fassbender. It ends with her, like, shoving a pillow over his head, shoving the gun there and just shooting him and killing him. Like, and this is pretty early on in the film as well. She gets rid of him. And none of the action sequences are shot, like, really intensely. It's like all these wide shots where it's just, like, sitting there and, like, stuff's just happening.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Jackie Chan does his scenes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know, like, to me it was really good. Other people hated it. I don't know. It's one of those films you take it or leave it.
Yeah, well, the thing, you know, it was funny that you mentioned that because I spoke to, I'm going to call him my friend. Let's say someone I know I spoke to.
Mm-hmm.
Who didn't like Dunkirk, and it really surprised me and initially upset me until I was like, you know what, I don't care. Because I thought it was great. But he was like, he actually hated the fact that there was no dialogue, there was no expository. He's like, there was no story, Linda. Like, you know, all they did was go to war and then people shot people and they died. And, you know, the only cool part was that there was a bit of time. But then what the fuck was with that music? And, it wasn't even like proper music. And, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know, it's all about like, the aesthetic and the whole scenery and setting the scene. It's not like I was gonna be like, if you want to watch a film like that, go watch Transformers or some shit. I don't fucking know, but either way,
Transformers doesn't have a story.
I know that's true, but like I think he wanted a bit more. He wanted something. He
wanted Hacksaw Ridge and not Dunkirk.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Both are good. I think both are fine ways of making a war movie. Like, I enjoyed Hacksaw Ridge. I enjoy Saving Private Ryan, but they do have like. They're really good war movies. They're really well executed, but they do have that, like, typical let's sit down before we go to battle sort of thing and have a talk about it.
Yeah.
Dunkirk's got this, like, urgency about it where, like, not much has to be said.
Yeah.
Because you imagine in that situation you wouldn't be talking much.
No, exactly. There wouldn't be a lot of making speeches. I think...
It's not like... I mean, the whole, like, here's a picture of my wife back home and all that sort of stuff.
I think he wanted more, but I said to him, I'm like, but realistically... And he's like, well, I don't go to film to see realism. And I'm like...
Why'd you go see a film about World War II? It actually happened.
Yeah, like, I think he wanted Titanic, if that makes sense, you know? It's, like, based on a true thing.
You should tell him to watch Pearl Harbor, because it's garbage.
He was just like, am I upsetting you because I don't like this film that you really like? And I'm like, I kind of was just like, I'm not going to say anything because anything I will say will probably just, like, either he'll just be like, oh, well, you're being whatever, such a bitch or whatever. But, or like, you'll just be like, oh, well, I did get to you. So I just didn't say anything. But I'm like, honestly speaking, you have no taste. He also enjoys watching Simpsons, like the recent Simpsons.
Oh, really?
So if that's anything for you.
You mean the show that isn't Simpsons anymore?
No, not really. It breaks my heart a little bit. I really do. Speaking of, I really did enjoy original Simpsons. I always go back and watch the original. Like, even the old school animations, I like them. They were really enjoyable.
The first 9-10 seasons are pretty good.
Yeah, then it gets into a weird stage.
Yeah. Weird area. It's just they keep making it for the money.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, they always make it for the money, which is fair enough.
I enjoyed, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Matt. The guy who...
I don't even know anymore.
Growing.
That's not even...
Matt G. That's his name. Matty G. I really enjoyed when he did Futurama, because Futurama, I think, was only 4 or 5 seasons.
It's much longer now.
Did they restart it? Or?
Yeah, they did.
I thought they ended it, because I watched the last few seasons, well, the original set of seasons. I watched the last few episodes, and it just ended up. It ended really nicely, and it was just, you know, it was a good story. I enjoyed that. I didn't know they restarted Futurama.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know if I'd keep watching.
I'm not that interested in it.
No. Well, original
keep going,
Futurama was really good for me. But, I mean, I feel like after a certain amount of seasons, you just should just let it go. Stop.
Oh, yeah.
Because even, like, don't laugh, but I used to watch Gossip Girl.
Okay. It's funny? I don't even know which one that is. I know it's a show that exists, but I haven't got...
Do you know...
All those shows to me look exactly the same.
You know Blake Lively? It's the one that she was in.
That
you know, there's like...
there's
so many.
I don't follow her career.
The thing is, I only watch Gossip Girl because, you know, like when you're a teenager, when you're a female teenager.
Okay.
And you're like, you know, you're just into that type of stuff. I didn't watch OC, One Tree Hill, Gilmore Girls. I didn't watch any of that.
All those shows look the same.
Yeah, they do look the same. But I only watched Gossip Girl because I feel like out of all of them, it was the only one that kind of caught my eye. And everyone was saying, oh, but OC is so much better and all that stuff. But I'm like, yeah, but how many shows can you watch about, like, two rich bitches fighting it off with each other with a whole bunch of other fucking people and taking people... The only reason I watched the show was because Blair Waldorf just kicked ass all the time and she, like, fucking took bitches down.
That's funny because it was, like, what is it, the same time you had Twilight, Vampire Diaries and...
I did not watch
True
any
Blood?
of those.
You watched Twilight. That's the movies, though.
Well, yeah, I watched the films. But the thing is, I remember I tried to watch Vampire Diaries. I watched, like, the first episode of Vampire Diaries. And I'm like, this is boring, so I stopped watching. And then I tried to watch True Blood. And I honestly didn't even... I was like, oh, I'm going to go watch it. But I never got around to it. So...
It struck me, but the difference between True Blood
and
Vampire Diaries...
I didn't even watch any of them.
No, I'm saying, it struck me as the difference between True Blood and Vampire Diaries is that True Blood showed people what they wanted.
Was there a lot... I don't even know which one had a lot of sex.
It was True Blood.
Oh, okay.
It's an HBO one.
Ah, well, that makes sense, yeah. But I know Vampire Diaries, like, if you go on YouTube...
Yeah.
I remember you used to be able to see... You know, like, back when YouTube had, like... They still have the recommended kind of videos.
Recommended.
But, like, if you... When I was, like, when, if you watch a Twilight video, they'll come up with, like, a...
Yeah, something related.
I used to also watch Pretty Little Lies for a few seasons, and then I stopped because I got fucking bored as well. That was boring. Mm-hmm. It was supposed to be a thriller kind of teenage show, because it was talking about, like, this killer who was coming after these girls, but...
But then he never came after them.
Well, it just got weird and complicated, and I honestly just couldn't be bothered. I was like...
Because they didn't know how to end it when they started it.
I think it did, yeah. I think it was more like... It's like, oh, well, this is happening and this is happening, but you don't really see, like, they don't...
I think that's why I hate those shows, because they start off and you can tell they don't know where they're going.
Well, I think that was the issue with Gossip Girl, because towards the end of the series, it got less... So, first, let's say, how many seasons was it? 7, 8 seasons? I can't remember, I honestly can't. First few seasons, we're talking about this online persona called Gossip Girl, who talks about... gossip, pretty much. And then they finish high school, and then it becomes less about this persona and more about these people in general. And then as it continues on, it becomes less about people and about one of the... So there's two main girls to start off with, and then one of the girls kind of, like, you know, becomes a bit more... She becomes a more popular figure outside of the show. Like, people like her more and all that. So I think they start focusing on her. But then, obviously, that's our food. Oh, my God, yes! Yeah, but because of that... like that shift in focus from the beginning till the end, like onto that one character.
Yep.
The whole idea of like, oh, who Gossip Girl is like
not even the same.
It's not even. It's just lost. Like they don't even. People stopped even caring.
It's just Lost.
Oh my God! Don't even.
Lost was one of those shows.
Lost.
I never watched it.
I never watched it, and it pissed me off when people did watch it, because I watched like maybe one episode, and I'm like, this is just a bunch of people running around.
Yep.
It's like Survivor.
And then it ends, and it's like, oh, they've all been dead this whole time.
Oh, makes sense.
Oh, so it was pointless. Great.
Oh. It was like literally the what the fuck thing.
No, it was transparently one of those shows where they didn't know what they were going to do with it at the end, so they just kept making stuff up and then writing themselves out of holes the whole time.
Yeah.
And it was just a load of crap.
Yeah.
By the looks of it. And I say that as somebody who didn't watch it. If I mean... I have no intention of watching it. It doesn't look like my sort of thing.
No.
Just like Gossip Girl does not look like my sort of thing.
I think I will come back and... Well, Gossip Girl is like one of those guilty pleasures where I'll put it on. Let's say I need to do the dishes. I need to do chores. And I need to do something that I don't have to... I need to watch something that doesn't have to, like, I don't have to use my brain for. I know this is really horrible, but you know when you have like background music playing or something like that? That's what Gossip Girl is to me. So I'll put it on if I'm...
It's noise.
Yeah, it's like white noise. There's certain, you know, like there's certain shows you go to that's like just freaking stupid and you know exactly what's going to happen. You've already watched it. You know, you don't hate it, you don't love it, but it's
I'd use The Office for that.
Yeah.
It's funny.
This is not a cheeseburger.
You know what happens though when I put on The Office for like 5 minutes, I'm not watching it, and then for the rest of the time I'm watching it.
But
Parks and Rec was that sort of show for me for a while as well.
yeah. I mean, to be fair, I watch Gossip Girl like at most once a year.
Dear God.
Like not
Actually, no, that's me with Game of Thrones.
the thing is, I won't watch the whole season. I'll pick like one season and I'll watch like a section of episodes that I enjoyed, and then I'll just skip through the rest because I'm like everything. Because the thing about it is like, let's say it's like 10 episodes per season. I don't remember how many episodes really, but there's 10 episodes. Let's say there's 10 episodes. The first 7 will be just mumbo jumbo, and the last 3 will actually be a kind of decent kind of few episodes, or maybe like the first 2 episodes and then the last 3 were pretty decent. Everything in between is like just filler.
Yeah.
It's just filler. So I just like skip those things. You can watch probably like the first 2 episodes of every season, the last 3. Watch the whole thing and just be done with it. Like you don't really need
Or,
in between.
like me, you could not bother. I saw somebody do a review. You know how... What was one of the other shows you mentioned?
One
It's
Tree
just-
Hill?
No.
OC?
No.
Gilmore Girls?
That might be it.
Gilmore
Didn't they
Girls is-
just have a reunion on Netflix? So some guy... I was watching his video the other day, and he was basically doing a review from the point of view of a guy who's never watched Gilmore Girls, who had to watch it with his girlfriend or wife. And he's going through it like almost line by line. It's just like we're like half an hour in, and the story hasn't even started yet.
Everyone's just setting the
It's
scene.
like everybody's just talking, and then it's just like, oh, and this one apparently owns a restaurant or cafe or something. She's out the back, not doing anything, but acting like it's really tiring her out. Because everybody else is working but her, and she's like, oh, how hard is my life?
That is literally like...
Most of those shows.
Yeah. Honestly, what I find really funny was when Gilmore Girls, you know, they had that reunion and like, it blew up on my newsfeed.
Just blew up my newsfeed.
It did. Like, everyone was commenting on it, so everyone was so excited, and I'm like... Why do people enjoy this? I don't understand.
Look, if you enjoy it, fine. Fine. It's fine.
No, it's not.
No.
Can you stop telling me you're excited for it? Because I ain't. But yeah, everyone was really excited to watch it. And I'm like, dude, this show is literally about 2 girls just running around. That's what most of these shows are. Just people running around doing shit. And it's like, there's no end.
I hate to bring up Friends.
I liked Friends the first few seasons.
It is funnier than all the other ones, but it's okay. I don't really love it or anything.
Friends is a hit or miss.
Seinfeld to me is a much better show because it knows it's a sitcom, and it's very, very blatant that I don't even think they like sitcoms. They're just making it like self-consciously going, yeah, nothing's going to carry on. There's no overarching plot. We're just going to do some weird shit every episode.
Yeah.
Because everybody in this show, all the main characters are ridiculously narcissistic, insecure, and messed up. Because they play up to that. It's like Friends characters are the same, but they act like that's fine and normal. In Seinfeld, it's like these guys have mental problems. But they're pretty much the same sort of people in Friends.
Yeah. I personally enjoy Friends. I know a lot of people in my life who obsessively watch Friends. I can like literally talk about every single episode and every single season. Mm-hmm. And like I can understand why they like it.
I understand it more than Gossip Girl.
Or Gossip Girl was one of those things you watch as a teenager because you wanted to be like that girl on television or something like that. Or you wanted that drama in your life.
Mm-hmm.
I would know. You know, I'm a teenage girl at one point. But I can understand why people liked Friends and why people enjoyed Friends. So, because it necessarily wasn't strong in storyline, but there was a lot of... Let's be frank here.
No, it's a sitcom, so it doesn't have to be strong on storyline. It just has to be funny.
I did think it was funny. I think the funny thing about Friends, or the thing that people like about Friends, is the fact that, like, well, firstly, like, I think my favorite character would be like either Joey or Chandler, because both of them, like, Joey was really stupid.
I prefer Chandler because he's a smartass.
Yeah, he's a smartass. I think they were, but also the fact that there was, like, I feel like there was a different type of person in that whole group.
It's funny because I really can't stand Ross.
Mm.
He knows the living shit out of me, and I think he's a loser. Mm-hmm. But the show's kind of about him, which really fucking pisses me off. But anyway,
I liked Monica more, though.
She's his sister, isn't she?
Mm.
Courtney Cox. One of the only ones that had a career after it. Well, they all kind of did for 5 minutes.
Well, Rachel, who was Jennifer
Aniston, has kind of really bad one, but she has a career. David Schwimmer has some things. David Schwimmer was in a few really good things after it, and he does have acting talent. But I think it's just purely because of the fact that he's Ross. So people just go, oh, it's Ross. I know that, what's his name, Chandler, didn't really have much after that. And, what's his name, Matt LeBlanc, Joey.
He had a show
after. He's got episodes. He had his own show for 5 minutes, Joey, which was a horrendous failure. Because he's even though he's kind of an okay character in the show, he's a crap by himself.
Yeah.
Episodes is really funny, which he was in. He plays himself, as he is now, and it's like he's going to be in a British TV show adapted in America. The Americans are trying to dumb it down, and he's like the star of it, and he's an asshole. But he's like playing up the whole celebrity thing and like making jokes about friends and stuff, and it's actually very funny. It's a BBC show though. It seems like an American show, but it is a BBC show. So, but yeah, that was pretty funny. But I think the thing is, like, most of these shows go for much longer than they have to.
Friends, by the end of it, was like, I remember they used to run Friends in the evening after. I know they play Simpsons at 6, and then afterwards they'd play Friends. And I remember watching it, and I was following it for a bit because my friend at the time, ironically, really liked Friends. And so she kind of convinced me. So I was watching it, and the first few, like, because I only played like one episode a day, let's say like the first few runs, I was really enjoying it. And then towards the end, the last few seasons, I really didn't like the fact that Rachel and Ross got together, but, unpopular opinion. Either way, towards the end, I was just like, oh, I'm getting really bored. I don't really care for these characters. You don't really care for them anymore. It's like you lose... If it's the same old all the time, at one point you're going to get bored. And, like, that's pretty much what happened. And I think at a certain point, they should have just been like, okay, that's the end. That's it. Like, just end it as it is.
Well, it's funny because people have the same opinion about The Office, basically when Steve Carell leaves and Jim and Pam get together. Because it's like Jim and Pam get together first, and then a bit later on, Michael leaves the show, and it's like, okay, lots of the reasons why you tune in are gone. It's still alright after that, but it's not the same. It's not, definitely without Steve Carell, he's like pretty much the reason to watch the show.
Yeah.
He's hilarious. And he plays the character so well. A guy who just has absolutely no social skills, kind of, but people just kind of like him anyway, despite himself. But yeah, I think it's just... With TV shows, it's always a case of, like, with Breaking Bad, I always got the impression that they knew exactly where they wanted to end it from the start. And there wasn't really a lot of waste in terms of time. It was always like, okay, this is the objective, what's happening next, okay. And then, this is a drama show as well.
Yeah.
So comedy shows are more flexible with that. It's like, okay, how long can we make people laugh? Oh, they're getting sick of it? Okay, we'll finish now.
That's the thing that happened with Big Bang Theory.
Oh, fuck.
It was... Can I just be honest with you? I genuinely
sucks.
thought it was really funny when it first started.
I didn't mind what you said with either.
I think now when I watch it, I'm like, this isn't funny, but I'm watching it for the fact is, like, I feel like there's a lot of loose ends that haven't been tied up. So I'm just watching for the sake, so, like, okay, so they've gotten together. They, like, now Penny and Lennon are married.
I haven't watched it for ages.
Yeah, have I?
I think
the last episode I watched was the one where Sheldon and Amy finally had, like, sex or something like that. Because I'm like...
I know I saw that one, but I don't know.
'Cause
I don't know whether I'd seen like every episode preceding it. I think I just saw that one time.
Yeah.
And
And
I
that was
didn't
about
care.
it.
I was watching. I was like, "This still
I'm
is."
stealing a nugget.
I was like, "It's just lame."
But yeah, that was
No.
the last episode. I haven't seen anything else because I'm like, well, that's done. Because the other thing I was waiting for was Leonard and Penny to get married.
Mm-hmm.
Sheldon and Amy, I assume, officially kind of consummate their marriage, their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Raj has a girlfriend now. So I'm like, everything that
No,
that kind of made the characters interesting or that you wanted to happen already happened. And so I'm like, okay, I don't care anymore.
There's a good video either on YouTube or something somewhere. The guy pretty much sums it up perfectly. He's watching an episode. He's like filming it on his phone, and it's like I can't remember which character. Just like they're about to do something, and then he reels off the name of like a bunch of like things like Star Trek, Back to the Future, blah blah blah, and then the audience laughs, and then he just screams at the screen, "Where's the joke?" There was no joke.
Yeah.
He just said a bunch of things that you know.
Well, alright. I think because the show's been running for so long,
They have no idea.
people are just conditioned. No, people are conditioned to laugh now.
Yeah, I think so.
Because it's not the joke anymore. It's just, oh, well, this person's a funny person, so whatever they say is going to be funny.
Hmm.
And so they'll say something in, like, whatever, like, let's say Howard says something in his weird voice, and it's, like, the way he says it. And people just laugh. Because they're, like, conditioned to think he's funny now.
Yeah.
Because it's been there for so long.
Also on the actual show, like they do have people who get the audience ready, and it's like, okay, laugh now. Yeah. It's like the joke from Family Guy about 2.5 Men. Like I can't remember. I think it's like Charlie Sheen says a joke, and it just cuts to an ostrich in the audience, like ha ha ha, and that's it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
2.5 Men went weird.
2.5 Men. People turned up because it was true in a way.
I guess.
So it was like, oh, Charlie Sheen's playing this role called Charlie. And I wonder why. He's playing a womanizer who's got very little talent, but he makes a lot of money out of it. And it's like, oh, I wonder where they got that
irony.
idea. That was kind of why people tuned in, because it was kind of true. And then all the other shit came out about it, and I'm like... And the thing is as well, it was like all the other stuff, I was like, in my mind, it just complemented the show.
Yeah.
I was like, so why'd they get rid of it? I was like, it just makes more sense to me.
Who was it that replaced him? What was his name?
Ashton Kutcher.
Ashton Kutcher. When Ashton Kutcher came in, I was full blown like, yeah, I'm not watching this shit anymore.
That's good.
Because like the only fun, because the thing is, Charlie Sheen, like the way he executed that role, it was just like that was just the show, you know. The fact that he was like him kicking Alan, trying to kick Alan out, Alan being freaking completely useless and all that stuff, and like that's what was good about it. And I'm like, now it's just weird. Like Ashton Kutcher, I don't feel like can play that role as well.
Ashton Kutcher can't play many roles. It's not what I'd call a fantasy actor.
This garlic bread is literally like still in the original packet. They didn't even bother putting it into like.
I'm sure it spent several minutes in the microwave.
Yeah. I mean, I'll still eat it.
Yeah, but you're weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I suppose we've just ended up talking about TV shows, which is fine. I saw American Made as well on Sunday.
Well, how was that, Ren?
Well, to talk about that, I have to talk about another TV show. Because it's about Barry Seal, who smuggled cocaine, weapons, pretty much anything you can think of, for the CIA, for the Colombian cartel, all that sort of crap. And then he died. He got shot.
Wow.
And he died. I did say, I will say, it's really unusual to see Tom Cruise in a movie like this. Because he wasn't like Action Man. Like, he was like very good at what he did. And at the end he gets like shot in a car to death. It's not on screen, it like kind of happens off screen, but he dies. And it's based on, the true story of this happening. The problem is if you, like me, you've watched Narcos, at least the first 2 seasons, you know that the much more interesting story is about Pablo Escobar and the, and the Colombian drug cartels. and the whole political situation that created over in Colombia and in America and all that sort of stuff. And it's a much more interesting thing. And also, this movie is, I think, PG rated, so like most of any like the violence or anything like that is completely out of this. I don't think Barry Seal necessarily saw a lot of it. He transported a lot of it. There's a pretty interesting scene where it's like kind of a little bit, it's about as close to Narcos as it gets. He meets Escobar and all that sort of stuff and sort of becomes friends with him and the rest of the Medellin cartel. And then they're in like one of their like apartments or mansions or whatever. Yeah. And then the cops turn up, like in they're militarized cops turn up and there's like shooting and stuff and he's like, doesn't quite know what to do, but like Escobar and all that are like so whatever about it. It's like, oh, you just stay here, we'll take care of this. No. And there's like gunshots and explosions happening outside and they just walk out and they're out of prison in like 5 minutes. And yeah, it was a fine movie. It's probably better than what I'm used to seeing Tom Cruise in.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you've seen Narcos, it's kind of, you're like, okay, I've seen much better. Yeah. And Narcos is very well made, like really well written, very well made. It feels a lot more real because it's a lot more dark and gritty and violent. And this movie's very clean, like it feels very clean and very
PG.
Very PG, yeah, pretty much. Like there's some really horrendous shit that happens in Narcos because that's just because like Escobar basically went from like he used to I think smuggle like cigarettes and stuff. And then it's like he met a guy who knew how to basically grow and make cocaine.
Grow cocaine?
Yeah.
Is cocaine I don't know how cocaine is made. I don't know anything.
Oh, I don't know how it's made either exactly, but
I didn't know cocaine was a plant.
He knows how to make it basically to a certain standard that people wanted it, even in America and all that sort of stuff. So he had to create a big network, and then he got really big, and he became the richest man in the world at one point.
Oh, wow.
Escobar. He was in Forbes magazine and everything, but he was like a big drug dealer, basically. And, like, you know, earning so much money, it was becoming difficult to hide it, and, like... It's more interesting because it's like, you go into his character as well, like... And obviously it's not entirely accurate, because they dramatise it and all that sort of stuff, but... The guy who plays him, I can't remember his name, is so fucking good in Narcos. He's just... And it's weird, like, they humanise him in such a way that, like, at times you almost feel sorry for him, but he's doing horrendously awful things. Like, he wanted to become, like, the president of Colombia.
Oh, I heard it in the United States. I'm like...
No, he wanted to become the president of Colombia. And, like, the person you really feel sorry for is his wife, actually, because she's really...
Is she really quiet?
She's really quiet and nice and like, and she like cares about her kids and all that sort of stuff. And she's just kind of mixed up in all this shit and like constantly threatened. And she like loved him even though he was a psycho, or like very unstable at least. And
that's alright.
And then it's like basically as soon as he worked out that the political establishment in Colombia would never accept him, he just became a nutcase. He just started like bombing civilians. And, like, holding the country to ransom because he had so much money and so many people. There's a bit in it, because it's, like, the one thing they do really well as well is they mix the footage in the show with, like, real footage. Like news footage and stuff. So it's, like, he bombed down this street during, like, a time where all the kids were going back to school, and it's like kids were mixed up in this, they died, and like they were shopping for like school supplies, like they follow a family going to we'll get you this, all that sort of stuff, and then just bang, bomb goes off. And then it's like some news footage of like the actual stuff happening at the time, like the bombed out shops and stuff, and then it's like, you know, goes into the show again, it's like the father looking for his daughter, and he like finds her shoe or something, and there's blood all over it. And it
breaks my heart.
They do it really well. In that it's like American made just seems very like blasé. A very Hollywood. It's really Hollywood and very.
It's very shiny compared to
you know,
something you've already watched.
Yeah, that's all I really have to say about that as well. Like, I suppose it's probably like a good introduction if you're planning on watching Narcos. Yeah. Watch American Made, you get an idea, and then you go into Narcos and you see the real stuff. Which is funny because
It's like
season...
just the tip.
Yeah.
American Made is just the tip. And then Narcos is the rest.
Is the rest. Exactly. The rest.
I couldn't say something offensive, Ren. Jeez. Or vulgar.
'Cause that's totally not vulgar. Well, it's not entirely vulgar.
No.
But yes. And season 3 has come out this week, and I've only watched the first episode, but it's very good so far.
Okay, what's coming up after this week?
I feel like Kingsman is very soon, but not quite
28th
yet.
of September.
28th, so it's not
I've got
quite
it marked
yet.
on my calendar. Go see Gold
That's
Fest.
what it was. Might not be next week. But we might actually... Oh, might be in time for our next podcast, I think.
Let me see.
When's
What
the
day?
14th? It's either the 14th or the 15th, I can't remember.
Is that when Kingsman's coming out?
No. It's another film.
It?
Mother?
Oh, I did see the trailer for that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to watch it. It looks scary.
That looks great. I want to see it.
I'm not very good with scary, Ren.
That's fine. It's more entertaining for me.
What's it about, Mother?
I'm not entirely sure.
It's got Jennifer Lawrence and...
Kind of the thing, like, she's in it, her husband's obviously Javier Bardem, and then people just start turning up at the house. And then shit starts going wrong, so I don't know what it means or what it's really about. I want to see it. Aronofsky's a generally good director. I know Noah was considered a piece of shit, but I haven't actually seen it, so I don't...
Wait, is Noah the one with Emma Watson and the
Yes.
Ark? Oh, no, it was a piece of shit.
Okay.
No,
I think
I
that's
didn't
the
see
only
it,
film
but...
you've seen where people are like, yeah, that was really bad.
I wouldn't say it was really bad, but I watched the trailer for it, and I'm like, yeah, no way in hell am I watching this.
And you watched it?
No, I didn't watch it.
So you haven't actually seen it.
It looks like a piece of shit, though, sorry.
It doesn't look great in the trailers.
You
I
know
haven't
when like
seen
you
it.
watch a trailer sometimes and you can already tell it's not going to be a good film?
Yeah, but Logan Lucky.
Logan Lucky wasn't that it didn't look like it was going to be a good film. It just didn't seem like a film that I would want to watch.
Okay.
But I remember I was watching, what was the trailer? What was the trailer for? I can't remember what film. It was before Transformers. What did we go see before Transformers? Well, obviously it wasn't that good. That's why I probably don't remember.
Wonder Woman?
No.
I don't know. I can't remember back that far. I can't even remember what we've seen. I know the first one was Ghost in the Shell.
Mm.
The second one was the Red Pill. Third one, I can't remember.
Well, whatever it was, I just remember watching the trailer and I'm like, it looks shit. Did you know that?
Mm.
So I'm eating with my mouth. I'm chewing with my mouth full. Chewing with my mouth full. I mean, talking with my mouth full. I saw a trailer for like a religious film,
Mm.
and it was the weirdest thing, the most bizarre thing I've ever watched.
What
And I
was
think
it?
it's like See the Light or something. It was something really weird. It was just
Okay.
very cheesy. And
I did hear of some like Christian movie made this year.
it
It
had
was
the guy.
apparently really good though.
It had the guy who played, like back in the day, like there was Xena and Hercules. The guy who played Hercules.
Oh, him, yeah.
Yeah, in it.
Oh,
And
what's his name? Fuck.
was he the one in Baby Driver as well, or is that a different actor completely? That's a different actor completely, and my brain is just confused.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing him in Kevin Sorbo. That's his name.
Oh, it wasn't him. Oh wait, no, it was him. Wait,
Kevin Sorbo.
is he Hercules or?
He's Hercules.
Yes, it was him.
Mm-hmm.
He was a teacher who didn't believe in God, and then the kid was like, "Oh, I believe in." So it was the weirdest thing ever.
And he finds Jesus.
Yeah, and he like finds Jesus. Literally, like that's the story. He
in
finds
5
Jesus.
minutes.
Like in the hour and a half it takes to watch the film, and I was
Fun
like,
fact: young Hercules was Ryan Gosling.
"What do you mean?"
There was a show called Young Hercules.
It was Ryan Gosling?
Mm-hmm. He was like 16.
Holy
maybe?
shit!
I don't know.
My brain is blown. I actually really enjoyed watching Hercules. I know it's like a show for like old people, and it was like
Old people? I thought it was a show for like little kids. Like Xena.
Maybe it was. It was quite violent though. There's no blood, but it was like as violent.
It was like Power Rangers violent.
Yeah. Oh well, people died.
Yeah, but that was back when we weren't enormous wusses.
That's
and
true.
We used to let
That's
things
also true.
die in kids' shows.
Yeah, sure. I used to watch it, and no one else used to watch it. No, but when I say it was a kid's show, I mean, like, I used to watch it when I was, like, 15, 16.
Yeah.
I thought Hercules was really hot, so, you know. Like, legit! And then everyone was thinking I was
Okay.
really weird, and I'm like, no, this show is amazing, guys. Watch it all the time.
I think you're weird for finding Kevin Sorbo
Ooh, hot.
attractive, but have you seen the YouTube clip of that show, the outtake?
No.
Because he reads his stage, like, the stage direction of how he's supposed to say the line in the line. So he goes, wait, this isn't my world. And then he goes, disappointed! Because that's how he's supposed to
Yeah.
say it. But he just,
He just says
it
it.
in the line. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I enjoy that. I also
I
enjoyed
think he's a
watching...
bit of a weirdo as well, Kevin Silver, in real life.
Probably.
I don't know that for a fact. I think I've heard it somewhere. That he's a bit of an oddball.
Hang on. I also enjoyed watching Xena. That was really good. She was like the old school Wonder Woman.
I know I'd seen it several times when I was a kid, but I can't remember any of it. All I know is that it was a Sam Raimi thing. Oh, I mean, I don't know whether it was all him, but like I know he was a producer on it, and he's responsible for the Evil Dead and the Spider-Man movies, the original ones. And Bruce Campbell's in them. In, I think, at least like one episode of Xena, and he was Ash in the Evil Dead movies. And now they've made Ash vs. the Evil Dead show, and he's in it. And so is Lucy Lawless as another character in it.
I have no idea. I did...
So it's all the same people.
It's just all the same. It's like, who... You know this one's like, This is 40...
Judd Apatow movies.
Yeah, like, This is 40. What was the other one? The one which knocked up?
Mm-hmm. Knocked up.
40-year-old
Super
version.
bad.
It's kind of an old...
Yeah, 40-year-old version, same director.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They all seem like... They're all the same...
Trainwreck.
Yeah, they're all the same people. And I'm like, is this just one universe?
Yes. They're all Judd Apatow movies.
Yeah.
They're
It's
all
really
like
weird.
improvised comedy movies. Except for when Amy Schumer does it. Shit.
Yeah.
It's garbage. She's so bad.
I liked Amy Schumer in Baby Mama. The one with Tina Fey.
Do I even know about this movie?
And, you know, where like Tina Fey's trying to get pregnant, but she's got a T-shaped uterus, and
Okay, I have not heard of this
Oh,
movie
okay.
at all.
It's actually pretty funny. I mean, to be fair, I watched it when I was like literally 12, so I don't really remember how funny, but it was pretty funny.
Is it funny because of Amy Schumer or because of Tina Fey?
Bit of both. I mean, it
Tina
has the
Fey's
guy.
funny.
Who's the guy that's married to Kristen?
Kristen Wiig?
No, I don't know.
I was like, I don't know. I don't even know if she's married.
No, the guy who's like who's the girl from Forgetting Sarah Marshall? Sarah Marshall.
I don't know.
That girl, her husband.
In real life or in the
In
film?
real life. God, this is getting too complicated. Oh my god, I can't remember her name, but you'll know him. He's in like a few films. He's not like.
I gather he is, if he's an actor or whatever.
Hang on. I have to look up Forgetting
Look it
Sarah
up.
Marshall.
I know you're not talking about, what's his face? Russell Brand. 'Cause he's in that film, isn't he?
Kristen Bell.
Kristen Bell, yep. She's in
Dax
Frozen.
Shepard.
Dax Shepard. I know the name, I don't know who he is. I know Kristen Bell's in Frozen. Oh, him.
Yeah, he plays. Now I can't remember the original name. Tina Fey and
Amy Schumer.
Amy Schumer. He plays Amy Schumer's husband.
Okay.
It's just like an overall comedy meal.
Did we get all the way there just so that you could remember who he was and that he was in the movie?
Yeah.
Not because he was particularly good in it. Or
No,
anything,
just
but
who I couldn't remember
'cause he's
who it
in
was. Yeah.
Okay, that's
But yeah, it talks about how like Tina Fey wants a baby. She's like into her late 30s. She doesn't have a partner or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then she can't have. She goes to a sperm donor, but she can't have a kid because her uterus is T-shaped. So she gets a surrogate, and then she gets Amy Schumer to insert her eggs and stuff. And then they do all this stuff, and Amy Schumer like breaks up with her on-screen boyfriend / partner. And she comes and moves in with Tina Fey's character, and they get together, and Tina Fey's like, you need to drink like vegetable soup, and she's all like, I want to drink Dr. Pepper, and it's kind of funny. The way the way I'm describing it, it's not
kind
funny.
of funny, I guess.
No, it is-
If you look at it like you want to laugh or
Yeah,
something.
but do you know the thing that made me realise, since we're talking about Tina Fey and Amy Schumer, was that in Mean Girls, Tina was the teacher and then Amy Schumer was the mum. And I
Wait a minute. You
Yeah.
talking about Amy Schumer or Amy Poehler?
Oh, Amy Poehler.
No, Amy Poehler's funny.
Yeah.
Amy Schumer's a retard.
Oh, I'm thinking of Amy Poehler. Never mind.
How dare you mix those?
Sorry, the names are like...
Amy Poehler's Parks and Rec.
Yes.
Yes. No, why would you... Are you talking about sisters?
No.
With the two of them? No?
No, I'm still talking about Baby Mama. That's Amy
Okay.
Poehler.
No.
Wow.
No, Amy Poehler's married
I just
to
went
Will
on-
Arnett. I know that. Who's Lego Batman.
Yeah.
Among many other things. Yeah.
I don't like Amy Schumer. I know who Amy Schumer is.
No, Amy I was
Can
gonna
you
say
just
Amy
edit
Schumer.
out that whole conversation I
God.
just had? Because I...
How did you mix those two up?
My brain farted, Ren. No, I know.
No, 'cause-
I know who Amy Schumer is. I don't know why. I thought she. You know why? It's because you were talking about The Office, and then I was thinking about other sitcoms like Parks and Recs, and then I thought about Parks and Rec.
So Parks and Rec and 30 Rock. So you got Parks and Rec is Amy Poehler, and 30 Rock is Tina Fey.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're all very similar sort of shows.
Either way,
You know what I find funny is like people...
I don't like Amy. I know for a fact I don't like Amy Schumer because.
She says vagina and then she expects people to laugh.
Well, the thing is, there was this whole thing about she was this huge it girl for a bit.
Mm.
Which I didn't really understand, but I was like, okay, I guess people like her. And then after a while, people didn't like her because she wasn't funny. And then I'm like, okay, I guess-
Did you see, I don't know whether you would have, South Park did a really great episode where they pretty much broke down why she's not funny. And it was really good.
no.
Because it was like, Cartman gets all super, like, female comedians are funnier than men. To the point where he's like, just bad-mouthing him. He's like, oh yeah, women are just so smart and funny. and it's like, and then somebody says like vagina, and then they laugh. It's and then it's funny because like they did that whole thing about like, you know, oh, this Amy Schumer is pretty
Yeah.
much like says vagina, and then
Yeah.
it expects people to laugh. And then she was on the red carpet somewhere.
Yeah.
Somebody's talking to her, and she pretty much did exactly that and
Oh my
started
God.
acting like an idiot, and nobody's laughing. Like,
That's
yep,
so
they were
awkward.
entirely right
I feel
about
so
her.
embarrassed. I can't believe I got those two mixed up.
I can't believe you did either.
You know why?
Because I
'Cause-
said Trainwreck, which is her film, directed
I
by
know you
Judd
said
Apatow.
Trainwreck, but I don't know why. Instantly,
And that
my
movie sucks as well. It's really
yeah,
bad.
I know, but like my brain instantly just switched to Amy. I guess because I don't really talk much about Amy Schumer or watch any of her films. Or
It's best not to.
yeah, well, that's probably why. Because the most famous Amy I know is I can't even pronounce her last name.
Poehler.
Yeah, that's the from
I don't even know if I'm saying it correctly, but
that Amy. That's the one I know. So when you say Amy Schumer, I'd actually be like, wait, who?
I always
Anyways,
found it amusing looking back now at 30 Rock and Parks and Rec. I like both of the shows a lot. But I don't think necessarily the showrunners or Tina Fey or Amy Poehler necessarily represented the shows as like feminist shows or anything like that.
No.
I don't think they ever went into it going, this is what I'm going to do. But people started like saying that they were because the lead characters were
we ate
women.
the last chicken nugget.
But I thought it was funny because they're like, Tina Fey's character in 30 Rock is like this supposedly very successful woman. Like she's like a showrunner on this. I mean, it's a show that's like always threatened by the fact that its ratings are dropping off the service and like everybody's a weirdo and nobody's working properly and all that sort of stuff. But it's like the businessman character played by what's his name? Why is this name left my Alec Baldwin? He's like pretty much right about everything with her, and he's
Wait,
like,
is that the show that's filmed live all the time?
it was shot live twice
Oh, okay.
because the whole idea is I think it's slightly based on Saturday Night Live, like behind the scenes sort of thing. If Saturday Night Live was worse, and it's not always great either. It's pretty shit most of the time actually, but because you know Tina Fey worked on Saturday Night Live, Amy Poehler worked on Saturday. They all went through that, and 30 Rock's pretty much like a behind the scenes
Is it
look,
like
but
a
it's a.
satire of...
I wouldn't say it's a satire. It's not like complete satire, but it's got a lot of like aspects about fame. And there's like, I can't remember her name, but the character is supposed to be like Tina Fey's best friend, who's like used to be like a pretty big star, and now she's on this crappy comedy show sort of thing. And then she has like an arranged publicity relationship with James Franco, who plays himself. But James Franco is actually in love with a Japanese body pillow. Good stuff like that. But yeah, it's like Alec Baldwin spends most of his time being completely right about her situation. Like, you know, you need to like chill out a bit, and because she's like reasonably successful. She's like the head writer and the showrunner sort of thing, and then, but like she can't find a man or anything like that, like at all.
Yeah.
And she has to settle for basically a moron at the end of the show who she just kind of doesn't like and then does like and then doesn't like, but, you know, it's just kind of how it is. I mean, Parks and Rec is a lot more optimistic.
Yeah. I started watching Parks and Rec. The issue was I never obviously continued it because, I don't know reasons. I don't remember. I didn't dislike the show. I definitely liked it. I think it's one of those things you can start watching in the middle of, like, the season, and
you don't really need to be following it from the beginning. I don't think you just kind of get the characters after a while, and they're fun to hang out with. And Chris Pratt's pretty good.
Yeah,
he has one of the best. Apparently, like most of the improv stuff that he came up with was better than what they'd written most of the time, so they used to just leave it in the show. Like, he's got a line. I don't know if it was Chris Pratt.
Mm-hmm. But it was a scene that they always talk about where, like, some guy comes in, Amy P.
Mm-hmm.
We're just going to do this now. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Amy P, like, they're supposed to shoot a scene where he's supposed to come in naked.
And he comes in naked for real?
Yeah, and her face is like...
Yeah, she's like, ah!
Because he's supposed to have, like, a suck on his dick or something.
Yeah, you're supposed to have something that covers up.
Yeah.
And
but he just comes in naked. And
he didn't, and she actually is like, oh shit, and then she's like laughing.
Yeah.
Apparently he got a letter from whoever runs the company saying, you're not actually allowed to do that.
HR, probably.
Yeah, that's like HR, you can't, that would be classified as sexual harassment or something like that. And he was like, yeah, you go, so I framed it and put it on my wall. No, he, I know that one of the lines that he came out with is like, her character's sick at one point, and then it's, and because he's like an overgrown baby, pretty much, his character, and he's like at the computer in the background, and then she walks past, like, leaving the scene, and he goes, I typed in all of your symptoms into the computer, and it says you have network connectivity problems. And yeah, stuff like that. I know that there's an outtake, I can't remember which season it is. It's one of the best improv things I've seen. But they could not put it in the show, because it's, like...
Not PG.
Yeah, exactly. He goes, they're just like, oh, you know, everybody loves a good comeback story. They're just like, you know, Rocky... this sort of stuff, and then Chris Pratt goes, Kim Kardashian, and they're just like, I don't know about that, Andy, and then he just goes, oh, I don't know, in the video she got cum on her back.
Oh my god!
and then they all just start like pissing themselves laughing.
It's funny. Oh my goodness!
It was hilarious. I think the funniest thing about that actually is because. I think by that point in the show, they all knew each other so well, but Aubrey Plaza, who plays April, his wife in the show... I love
Aubrey Plaza.
She's sitting next to him, and you can tell she knew what he was going to say before he says it. She slaps him before he gets it out.
Yeah.
Like, I know what you're going to say. Which is kind of funny. But yeah, that's that show. We've basically spent this podcast talking about our favourite TV shows.
Yeah, a lot of sitcoms, so I guess this is Logan Lucky plus television shows that we enjoy.
And some American-made somewhere.
Yeah, a bit of touch there.
American made with a recommendation to watch Narcos.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because it's better. And it's more available. You don't have to go to the cinemas.
I know.
You just have to get Netflix.
Yeah, I know. Just get Netflix, do a 30-day trial. Just get that, watch it, and then...
Yeah, watch all 3 seasons, just binge watch it.
That's what I should do for Stan, because Stan's on... Game of Thrones is on Stan, isn't it?
No, it's on Foxtel.
Oh, is there a 30-day trial for Foxtel?
It's a 2-week trial, I think.
Well, I've got 2 weeks
to watch 7 seasons.
To watch 7 seasons, it's fine. I'll just, like, literally, like... Go to work, come home, watch, sleep for like 3 hours, go to work, watch, 3 hours. It's fine. I've done it before. It's fine.
You have to watch 67 hours. And probably slightly more than that, because not every episode goes for an hour.
Hang on, let me divide this. Let's say...
you could do it. You could totally do it.
Divided by 14. That's just 5 hours a day. That's nothing.
Oh, it's easy.
I've watched films longer than... No, that's not true. I watched the whole season of Pride... You know the old school Pride and Prejudice television.
The miniseries, BBC.
Yeah. I watched all of that in like...
How many episodes is that?
Like 13?
Isn't that many? Shit.
It's quite a few. I mean, unless it's half of that.
Like
Either way, I
6.
watched all that, and then back when like Legend of Korra was out, like the Avatar
Yep.
series, I watched the whole season. I watched the whole second season of that in one night. I was up until like 3 a.m.
We watched One Punch Man in one sitting.
Oh yeah, we did do that too. That was pretty good.
That was fun.
Well, because I remember you were saying you didn't like anime, and I was like, but you have to watch this. And then we watched the first episode, and we're like, oh, that's pretty good. And then you kept watching and watching and watching, and then by the end we're like, yeah, this is the last one.
Aww. I'm actually wondering though, like, will it be as good in like
Oh
the
yeah.
next one?
That's the thing about anime, though. I don't get disappointed. I know it'll keep getting better, or it'll be just as good.
Or it'll drop off completely and suck.
No. Don't say that. It's because most of the time anime's got a manga to follow. So if the manga's good, then like the anime would generally be good. Unless you're Bleach, which I already talked about, which just completely fell off the face of the earth. But we're not talking about that.
No.
But I think we should wrap it up.
I think we should.
I don't know, how long are we talking for? Too long.
Long enough.
Long enough. Okay.
Long enough about things that are probably irrelevant for most
Yeah,
of the
I
time.
know. It's like, is this a film podcast? No, it's a television
This one's
podcast.
for TV. Even though it wasn't the plan that way. But there's only so much you can say about Logan Lucky.
I know.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So I'd recommend it.
recommend go see Logan Lucky. I haven't seen American Made, but
It's alright.
I wanted to see Valerian, but
That
You
looks
know.
like crap.
it does look like crap. But I still want to watch it. It's like my guilty pleasure, semi crappy films. I like to go in and watch it and see how shit it can get.
That's, the thing is, it's probably not that bad.
It's bad.
It's really just like
me and
flopped.
me and my friend were talking about Cara Delevingne,
Yes.
and we're just
She's
talking
not-
how
she's
fucking
not exactly a great actress.
no, we're just talking how fucking blasé she is. I was just like, the whole thing, her whole acting is based around the fact that she's a model, so she can just like pull a face and it's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I'm acting, and I'm like, no, you're not. You're like you're being a model, but you can't just like.
Like DiCaprio when he starts yelling. You're like, dude, you should try doing something else instead of screaming.
Like Wolf of Wall Street.
No, that's a little different kind of worked. Just sometimes it doesn't work with his
I don't
characters.
know when the last time I saw him yelling.
Pretty much every movie he does it at some point.
I haven't actually seen that many. I'd say I've only seen like a handful. I haven't even seen Inception. I already told you this. I haven't
Really?
seen it. No, I have never seen Inception.
I'm sure you had.
I should,
Wow.
but it's one of the, there's one of those things like, oh, everyone wanted
It's
to go
one of those
see
things
it.
it's like, it's so, like, I mean, it's pretty much a classic already.
Yeah, yeah. Well, everyone's seen it, and I want to be like, oh, I still haven't seen it. And then one day someone's going to get pissed off enough to just, like, make me watch it.
It's like I think I had a couple of friends who hadn't seen Shawshank Redemption.
Oh.
Have
I
you-
only saw Shawshank Redemption around just under 2-3 years ago.
It's one of those movies, just like, very good.
Yeah. I enjoy it was very...
Like, it's very Hollywood,
Yeah.
but it's
It's like
good.
the ultimate
It's
prison
good.
break thing, kind
Well, it's like the ultimate, like, Hollywood movie. Like, but it's good.
Yeah. Anyways, I think we should end it now.
Yes, we should. We've talked enough about
Yeah.
crap.
Okay.
So, yeah. Next time we'll do something else.
We're
Hopefully
doing
we'll have
another
something.
live stream.
Are we? Yeah.
Yeah,
we
we'll
are.
do that. We'll do
Sure.
another one next Wednesday or Thursday.
God
Haven't
knows what we'll
decided
talk
yet.
about. But we'll work it out.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.